Let me move on to the situation on the battlefield. There, more and more tasks are being carried out by unmanned ground robotic systems, according to the military. They deliver ammunition, evacuate the wounded, and even open fire on the enemy. The fighters of the 5th Separate Assault Brigade, who are carrying out combat missions in the Kramatorsk and Novopavlivka directions, emphasize the constant need for training. Our soldiers are constantly improving the field of drones, but so is the enemy. The need for electronic warfare equipment and new platforms remains critical. You can contribute to the current fundraising campaign. A QR code will appear on your screens right now. Every hryvnia counts.
For now, I am fully engaged in working with the NRC. Next, I would like to continue developing in this direction, in the NRC field, in the field of aviation drones, strengthening strike drones, with various types of weaponry. That's the kind of plan I like. I enjoy hitting someone bad really hard. I know there are a bit fewer of them now.
Vyacheslav joined the 5th Separate Assault Brigade recently. After completing basic general military training, the unit commanders interviewed each soldier and selected him for further service in the company of ground robotic systems.
You have to join the army because the enemy is advancing, the enemy isn't going anywhere. For now, the enemy is somewhere out there, not yet in your home, so basically you can still live normally, dodge the draft, do whatever. But sooner or later you'll have to defend your house, your street, your home, your relatives. It's better to do it somewhere far away in Donbass than right near your own doorstep, so to speak.
Now the man, together with other soldiers, is undergoing training at the training ground. The personnel are being taught to combine remote control of the robot with the combat use of the turret.
Step by step, we first learned to control the robot itself, then to set up the turret. How it all works, what's inside, what the components are. Specifically controlling the turret, firing the Mk19 weapon like we're doing here now, and practicing all of this, all these stages. You have to practice each step until it becomes automatic, so you don't freeze up in combat conditions.
By profession, Petro is an English teacher. However, he didn't get a chance to work in his field because the full-scale war began. He enlisted in the armed forces on February 25th, 2022.
Nowadays, this is such a modern war that, it's better not to take part in combat directly, but to do it remotely. With robots, with all sorts of things, with drones, with our ground drone. That appeals to me more than flying drones. Before this, I worked with sappers, explosives, well, something like that.
These kinds of platforms mainly perform logistical functions.
Transporting supplies, delivering ammunition to positions, evacuating the wounded, and of course the combat use of robots. You can see one of these examples right next to me now. This is a Lynx type robot. It is equipped with a turret mounted with an Mk19 grenade launcher, which allows it to effectively engage the enemy remotely.
This robot has a range of just over 20 kilometers. Its effective operating distance is 1600 meters. To convert it into a logistics robot, you just need to remove the turret, and it can deliver supplies.
Before heading out, we conduct additional reconnaissance because we need to understand where we're going, what's there, and whether there might be mines. We actively cooperate with other units operating in the area where we need to carry out our mission. Accordingly, they provide us with intelligence, and we take it into account. Of course, drones are launched there, and they survey everything.
The company commander with the call sign agronomist shares more details about the development of ground robotic systems.
Because I am an agronomist by education, my parents are agronomists, and my family is involved in agriculture. I was always interested in cars, tractors, combines, and I think that ground drones would fit in perfectly as well.
He started working with ground robotic complexes back in the summer of 2023. The first thing he got his hands on was a powerful armored drone that could already handle off-road conditions at that time. The commander predicts that soon ground robotic complexes on the battlefield will not only assist but also inflict damage.
Right now, no matter how significantly technology truly advances, the battlefield still ultimately and fundamentally depends on precisely where the infantry is positioned. In other words, the main players on the battlefield are still the infantry, and the task of drones is to support them. On our side, that means helping and destroying enemy infantry advancing on ours.
He believes that drones should develop in the direction of delivering firepower and being able to conduct autonomous combat.
In my opinion, in the future, several unmanned combat vehicles will be deployed to carry out tasks such as clearing, delivering firepower, and conducting assault operations with powerful weaponry, essentially on par with infantry fighting vehicles and supporting the infantry, which will continue to play the main role on the battlefield.
Despite technological advancements, there remains a critical need for resources.
Right now it's a drone war. Aerial drones shoot down other aerial drones. They shoot them down. And aerial drones also take out ground targets. Soon ground drones will be taking down aerial ones. In other words, it's a large-scale drone war, and drones are now destroying everything, including our platforms.
So it's through donations that you can help units ensure timely logistics to positions and evacuate the wounded with new platforms. Ruslana Sushko, Artem Derkachov, Rada TV channel for the summary program United Maine.
The war of generations. In this war, both parents and children are fighting, and often it's close relatives, father and son or mother and daughter. On the Orikhiv front, a father and son serve side by side in the infantry. Both have been at war since 22. Both went through the Robotyne offensive and know its true cost. They were both wounded. Despite the fact that the soldier with the call sign Batia has 8 children, he doesn't leave the army because his youngest son is also at the front. So they sit together in the trenches, weapons in hand. The report from the Orikhiv direction by TSN correspondent Ruslan Yarmolyuk.
That's exactly why I went, because I have a big family.
Batya has 8 children, 5 of his own and 3 adopted. To go or not to go? There was no doubt.
When the full-scale invasion began, I spent more than a month praying and asking God to give me understanding of how I should act. That is, I understand that Christ must be in the trenches, and otherwise how can I tell the guys that I'm here beside them, that I'm with them?
Ivan Volodymyrovich is a Protestant pastor, a volunteer, and a father of many children. He went to war following his son Ivan. Both of them are in the infantry.
Coming here, as they say, for one son, now I have a bunch of sons here. And that's a principle. Well, that's how it should be. A father should be like a father, a mentor, a friend, just a brother in arms, someone sitting right beside you.
The 55-year-old father has a complicated story. He comes from the criminal 90s. As a pastor before the war, he cared for prisoners and those who had been released.
I believe that God gave me this opportunity, gave me this chance, because I myself am from, well, former, respectable people. Well, as they say, yes, white and fluffy. Now, in the Orikhiv direction, he carries out combat missions together with his son. He went through the crucible of the Robotyne offensive together with the young man. He survived, saved his comrades during evacuation, and kept his son safe.
Everything's fine, thank God. Thank God, right? Hallelujah. Well, the tank, after that, my knees are still shaking because I was wounded twice by a tank. You know what I mean. And so, even if you know it's somewhere out there, that moment when it fires and hits right away, that still gives me a bit of a tremble.
Still very young in age, but already mature in his actions and behavior. Ivan has seen the blood and deaths of his comrades. He has 2 wounds, but he didn't leave the front. Wherever his father and the guys are, that's where he is too.
Who am I now? So I'm here, Dad's here. So that means everything worked out, right? In the sense that the upbringing, that we're together and we're doing fine, as they say, we're moving forward. We move forward together, going through, as they say, both good moments and hard ones.
He doesn't regret anything. It's his choice. He thanks his father for his upbringing and the values his dad instilled in him as a child. Here at the front, Ivan is among his own and he stands as an equal with the older comrades.
It gnaws at you, for example, when you're on leave, when you've changed your surroundings a bit, and it starts to eat at you a little because you see not so much that they're in civilian clothes. It's not that I'm judging anyone for it. It's everyone's choice, but the attitude, for example, sometimes the attitude is just inappropriate, not just towards the military, but towards the situation in the country as a whole. I mean, you can see people just hanging out, walking around with a bottle of beer, for example. At least behave a little more modestly, so it doesn't hurt those who are standing up for you.
Even though their father is nearby, they don't argue, and their dad doesn't tell them how to live, what to do or not to do. There is a war, there is an enemy, and it must be destroyed, says 25-year-old Ivan.
First of all, he's a friend to me. He was my friend even before the war, and now he's also my brother in arms, and of course my commander. I mean, there aren't any issues or anything like that. We have, as they say, freedom of action, but everything is coordinated. That is, it's not like with some commanders where it's, I said so and it will be done my way.
The enemy is constantly assaulting our fortifications, both on foot and with vehicles. A father's fear for his son and a son's fear for his father is always present. Both the father, the son, and the guys in the unit pray before every combat mission. And Ivan says, it works. The main thing is to believe.
Of course I pray. Even when I'm not scared, we try our best. When those same cabs come in, or just in general, you say to yourself, Lord, place your protection, your shield. So, and, well, you see the result.
The war of generations has become a reality. Now both parents and children are fighting. They are fighting the same eternal enemy of Ukraine, the Moscow Kremlin. Ruslan Yarmolyuk, Mikhailo Putyata, TSN, 1+1, Marathon, United News.